Sunflower, thank you so much for helping me with that, because I would have not known what to do in this game.
What's up everyone, it's Strangelove here, and for this video I've just got some Boss Hunt gameplay from this past weekend, and since I haven't made a video in a little while, I figured we could just have a quick, brief discussion about Boss Hunt and what you guys think of this game mode so far. Now, if you missed out on the Boss Hunt over the weekend, or if you haven't been keeping up with Garden Warfare 2, the Boss Hunt over the weekend featured the one and only dabbing Yeti King. So, unlike some of the other boss hunts, defeating the Yeti King didn't really involve anything particularly complex. After you place the boss bait, you mainly just had to fend off a couple waves of ice elemental enemies until the court jester spawns, and then you vanquish the little jester imp, pick up the damage buff, and you have your whole team stand in the buff aura, pummeling the Yeti King with everything you've got because, of course, the Yeti King remains immune to damage up until this point. Like I said, it was nothing too terribly complex, which got me jumping into this ongoing conversation about what the developers could do to make Boss Hunt a little bit more interesting, seeing as how it's basically the game mode of choice among many players out of the 3 main Mystery Portal events these days. Now, even though I just said that the boss hunt could use some complexity, that's not to say that the crazy or hard modes are any less challenging. The higher difficulty modes are definitely quite difficult, so much so that I've yet to complete a boss hunt on crazy beyond the first one with the Sasquatch. Granted, I usually don't make much effort to party up with people for those events, which is practically a requirement if you want to have better chances for completing it at higher difficulties. Regardless, I wish it didn't rely so heavily on teamwork, because then the people like me who kind of run Lone Wolf wouldn't have to try to party up with random people just to complete Boss Hunt at higher difficulties, but I get it, it's supposed to be a team effort and promote teamwork and things like that, so all of us lone wolves out there are just gonna have to try a little harder for our crazy, scrumptious hats, I guess. Now, time and time again, players have been asking for a way to select your preferred boss hunt difficulty prior to entering the Mystery Portal, so that you'd only be paired with people who want to play at that difficulty, and instead we were given a progressive bait, which isn't really the same kind of solution, but the developers deserve some props for at least trying. So now the only way that you can place a harder difficulty bait is if you completed the boss hunt on the difficulty before it, which makes a lot more sense. Now, of course, it's still possible with a progressive bait to have a more experienced player place down a more difficult bait with a bunch of players who don't really know what they're doing or haven't played that particular boss hunt, but I think that's something that we're just gonna have to live with for now. I feel like the reason that we can't choose the difficulty prior to entering the portal has something to do with the amount of people playing, and narrowing down the available matches by picking the difficulty ahead of time would just kind of hinder our abilities to find a match and slow down the queue time. So I don't know if that's the case, but I feel like that's probably something to do with why they haven't added that feature yet. Now, I actually had a really good run with some randoms this weekend. Surprising, I know. But it was mostly attributed to the fact that one of my teammates had a mic, and although it was his first time playing the Yeti King, he actually had played the previous boss hunts before and knew how to read my text explanation of what to do, because I didn't have my mic handy, so I had to pray to the matchmaking gods that I'd get a decent enough team to at least beat the Yeti King once on normal difficulty, which we were able to do. I missed out on getting my gummy crown for the scrumptious difficulty, which I'm kind of bummed about, but maybe I can team up with some of you pro Garden Warfare players for the next time. Now, as much as I love the Yetis in this game, I feel like this boss hunt ranked a little bit lower for me on the favorite scale. I'd say out of all the boss hunts for the Mystery Portal events, that the Brothers Nomis was probably my favorite in terms of teamwork and its use of the map. I really liked the concept of having to match up the symbols in the boxes to the colors of each gnome brother, and I think it worked really well on the Seeds of Time map. And I know with the Yeti King you have to do the part where you shoot the popsicles, which sort of makes you disperse throughout the map, but something about it seemed a little bit less refined than the previous boss hunt. But I did enjoy the idea of having to stay within the damage buff aura with your teammates to damage the Yeti King, simply because it just makes you feel so powerful when you're using all of your strongest weapons, and when you diminish that last little bit of health on the Yeti King as a team, it was really a satisfying end to the boss fight, I thought. So I hope they do something like that for the next boss hunt. Now, as far as future boss hunts go, I really like the idea of bringing back Captain Smasher and Hypnoflower for the Mystery Portal boss hunt this time, since we really only got to see them at the end of the story missions. I'd like to see how the developers modify them for a Mystery Portal event and make their patterns a little bit more interesting. It would also be cool if we could earn a new ability from completing the boss hunt rather than having to buy them from Rux, as I feel like this would be a better incentive than a hat, and it would definitely reduce the need to have to grind for a bunch of coins at the last minute, which I'm pretty much going to do tonight to prepare for Rux this weekend. Alright you guys, leave me a comment and let me know what you thought of this Yeti King boss hunt from this weekend, and also I'd like to know if you have any cool ideas for future boss hunts as well. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay strange, my loves, and until next video, this is Strangelove signing out.
Yes! I wish I could high-five you guys right now.